Hey, how's it going? My name is Fred, and in this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about the four square method of when you're going to purchase a vehicle and who that's going to benefit. Hi, my name is Fred, and I'm coming to you with this on my mind because it's something that one of my clients went through, and I wanted to walk you guys through it just like I walked my client through it. So usually when you're going to buy a car, if you're looking at trying to trade in a vehicle or you have down payment or something like that, they bring out a piece of paper. That salesperson is going to bring out a piece of paper, and it has four squares on it, right? How much do you have down? What's your trade-in worth? What you want your monthly payment to be, and how much is the price of the vehicle? So there's four different categories there, and we're going to go ahead and talk about each of the categories and the uh, why the auto companies are doing this to you, right? It's not to benefit you, but however they do make it seem like it's benefiting you, right? Because they're going to ask you certain questions like how much do you have as a down payment, how much do you have, what kind of car do you have for a trade, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that car, see what we can get you. Um, what's the price of the vehicle you're looking for, and then how much can you afford for your monthly payment, right? So these are the things that they're going to go ahead and talk about. All they really want you to do is think about one of those sections, right? Maybe it's the down payment. Usually it's the down payment or the monthly payment that they want you to focus on, and they're going to work on one of those two numbers. However, everything comes into play when you're dealing with these four squares, and that's why I want to bring this video, is because I see it time and time again where my clients go in, they don't really understand the purpose of this and why it's actually being done. So I want to make sure that I bring it to you so that way you guys can feel educated when you guys go in. This is just part of a series that we have inside of our coaching program for clients who do want to purchase a vehicle, right? We have a manual that we provide for you that goes over all types of information when purchasing a vehicle, how to actually calculate uh, what the purchase of the vehicle actually costs, because most people just think it's just your car payment, but that's not the fact. The fact is there's going to be a down payment involved, there's going to be possibly a trade-in involved, and there's going to be monthly payments, but there's also going to be gas, insurance, maintenance, upkeep of that vehicle, car washes, things like that. So there's all kinds of things that you want to keep into consideration when you're going to purchase a vehicle. But back to the four squares, right? So the only square that you really need to be concerned with is the price of the vehicle. Now, right now, I know there's a chip shortage. A lot of these car companies are not offering anything lower than the MSRP of what that vehicle is. However, you could always try to negotiate, right? Negotiations are always going to be to your advantage, right? Because the worst they could do is say no. We'll just keep the price at the MSRP, right? Now, a lot of companies have a markup on the MSRP, right? And what's the markup for? It could be for nothing, right? For example, I just purchased a vehicle, got an Acura MDX, no, excuse me, Acura RDX, right? And they had a markup. However, there was something for the markup, right? It was like $299 to have something to do with the tires for the air. I forget what the air is called, oxygen. I don't know. I forget what it's called, but it was something like that. And then it was like $499 for I think it was window tint or something like that, which was cool with me. Fine, whatever. But sometimes you go to purchase a vehicle, and they just have like a $5,000-$10,000 markup for nothing. It's just like the car costs 80, but we're gonna mark it up for 20,000. Now you got $100,000 car. So these are the things that you want to keep in mind when you're looking at purchasing a vehicle, right? So, like I said, on the four squares, who cares what the payment is? Who cares what your down payment? All these things. Because before you even go to the dealership, the most important thing that you want to do is make sure your credit is in a situation where you can qualify for the best of the best rates, right? And that's pretty much what my program is for, is to help you with the finances, but in a roundabout way, we do help you with your credit. We help educate you on the credit process and what that looks like and what it looks like to get into a position to hopefully qualify better rates. So you want to go to a credit union. Hopefully you're already a member of a credit union. If not, it's always good to discuss that with us. So we could maybe offer some type of guidance on who may qualify you to join their credit union. All right. Sometimes you can just join a credit union. Sometimes there's things that you need to be able to get approved for that credit union. So what that looks like, I don't know. But always give us a call. Let us try to walk you through that. Right. So credit union, you have your, okay, let's say you go to the credit union, you get approved for your loan, you got your interest rate, so you already know what your payment's going to be, right? So based on the amount that they approve you for, that you can spend up to that amount, right? So these are very important things. One thing that you do want to discuss, based on how much you have as a down payment, you want to discuss GAP and what that looks like. Now, what is GAP? GAP is insurance that pays your car. Say you get into an accident, they total out the car, you owe $40,000 on the car. No, let's say you owe $30,000 on the car. No, you owe $40,000 on the car, but it costs $30,000 to fix it, right? They'll go ahead and fix it. But let's say you owe 30, right? But it costs $40,000 to fix it. I messed it all up. Hold on, I got discombobulated for a second. So the gap is you owe more than the car is worth. So the insurance can only pay, say they only pay $30,000, but you owe $40,000. So there's a $10,000 gap. The gap insurance will pay that $10,000, so that way you don't have to pay for it. So that's what gap insurance is. So you always want to negotiate that with the credit union. So when you're dealing with the credit union, okay, now you got your gap insurance, you know how much your car payment is going to be. Now you can start working on what those numbers look like, right? Because you're going to know what your interest rate that you qualify for is, right? So you go to the dealership, you let them pull out their four squares. You just keep going with your negotiations. Only thing you're trying to do is to get that price knocked down as low as possible. Now, keep in mind that price is not the end price, because you still have to go to finance, and finance are going to try to sell you some other things. So it's very important to know what your number is. 1, know what you could afford monthly. 2, 3, know how much your insurance is going to cost for that vehicle. So that's the third thing. A lot of times when you go online and you're buying a car from a dealership, you can get the VIN number and you can go straight to your insurance company and say, hey, this is the VIN number. How much is the insurance going to cost me, right? Now, something that a lot of people don't know or aren't aware of is Costco does have insurance. So, for example, I have insurance through Costco for my cars in my home. So that's something that you might want to look into. I know we were able to save a good amount of money per month. Per 6 months, because we pay 6 months at a time. But we were able to save a good amount of money by switching over to the Costco insurance, right? So once you have all these numbers, you come to your agreement. You don't care about what their payments are. You know, they're going to always try to sell you on, oh, we can beat their price. You can try, but let's tell you what's going to happen when you do that. They're going to run your credit at the dealership. Then they're going to shotgun your credit report to different lenders, right? So now you're going to have a ton of inquiries, right? And sometimes these companies, when they're running your credit, they don't mark the inquiry properly, right? So anytime you're shopping for a vehicle, the banks know that you're shopping for the vehicle. So they're going to count all those vehicle loans as one inquiry over a period of 14 days, right? So you might have 17 inquiries, right? Instead of just the one inquiry you could have had, right? And then let's say 10 of those inquiries didn't mark it properly as it was for an auto loan, and they just said it was like a different kind of loan or whatever, right? Now you have to go through that process of trying to get that removed from your credit report, because one is reporting inaccurately because it's not the proper type of loan that you really applied for. So there's a lot of things that go on in the background, so we want you to focus on that as well. So these are just some things that I wanted to bring about to help educate you, try to make you a little bit more knowledgeable when you're going into a dealership to search for a car. They're going to bring the 4 square out to you. The only square that you're concerned about is the price of the vehicle and how low you can get that price. If they have a markup for no reason at all, I would steer away from that dealership and just go to a different dealership. You already have the approval from the credit union. You know how much you're approved for, so you know you can go spend up to that amount. Usually what my credit union does is they overnight me a check. I could take the check to the dealership, and once I worked everything out, I hand them over the check, sign it off. Everything gets sent to my credit union, and then that's where we are. All right. So just something to think about. I've been doing this for a long time. I've coached. I don't even know how many people I've coached in purchasing vehicles. Well, high in hundreds, if not thousands, of people that I've coached, walking them through how to purchase a vehicle. I myself have purchased over 20, probably 25 vehicles in my life, so I know how the process works. I've done it. I continually do it. I just did it a couple months ago in September, so that was last month. So, you know, things like that. It's something that you want to make sure you do your homework on, because you don't want to go in not knowing what you should know. You want to make sure that you have all your homework done. You want to know what the average price of that vehicle sold is based on, you know, the different types of upgrades that the vehicle has. Like, what type of options does it have? Does it have panoramic roof? Does it have, I don't know, remote start? Things like that. I don't know. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, cooling seats. All these things have a price tag to it, right? So you just want to make sure that you've done your homework, you've done your due diligence to know exactly what you want, how much things cost, and what's going to work best for you. So with that being said, just make sure you get your budget put in order, so you know exactly what you could afford prior to going into that, right? So with that being said, again, thanks for watching the video. If you found any type of value, please give me a like. Share it if you know anybody who could benefit from the information that we provided. And I definitely appreciate you. You guys have a good one.